Good afternoon. My name is Vatsa Kumar. I am the secretary for the Foundation for India Studies, the organization that is doing the Indo-American Oral History project in collaboration with Houston Community College as well as the Houston Public Library. We are doing this project so that we can talk to many of our community leaders who have come and settled down in Houston over a period of 30 or 40 or 50 years, and we want to capture their history, their legend, their story in their own voice. So this afternoon, I will be interviewing Dr. R.N.S. who is here with us to tell us his story. Now, Dr. Rao, welcome to this program of Indo-American Oral History Project. We are very delighted to have you, and I am in particular very happy to interview you because I have known you ever since I came to Houston in 1978. So I have known you for almost 34 years. But now I want others to know more about you and your accomplishments, things like that you have done in this area. So tell me a little bit about yourself first, and then we'll go into more details.
Okay. I came to United States in 1959. Before that, I was in Bangalore, working for the Public Works Department. I worked as the assistant to the chief engineer, technical assistant to the chief engineer for about 8 years. Before that, I was working for about 5 years as a county engineer, PWD, in a Shimoga district, Malnad district. It's a rural area. It is a local engineer for the taluk. I went to government engineering college there. Now it's called University College
Of
Engineering. I got my B there in 1946. Afterwards, I had a training in Ooty for the land conservation. This one. Then, after I covered 1958 or so, I was in the chief engineer's office. I was deputed to Roorkee to work for my master's degree in engineering, Masters of Engineering.
Okay, you said that you were reputed, you were asked to go do your master's program.
Okay.
Where was that at, you said?
Roorkee University.
Roorkee University.
No, Uttar Pradesh.
Right, okay. University of Roorkee. Okay.
Yeah. And after I came back after the 1 year training, and my friends were saying, why can't you go to the America? And I said, no, I can't do that. But they said, a couple of my friends, who were my classmates, they had gone to Connecticut. And they came and, Rao, you can usually go, there's no problem getting a seat or anything. So he called the head of the department of civil engineering at the University of Connecticut. And he said, it's a friend of mine, he's much better than me. And he wants to, so, okay, we'll give that mission. Then for money, Canara Bank advanced $5,000 rupees at that time to make up the tickets and so forth.
Okay, Dr. Rao, I want to interrupt for a second because you said such valuable things, information that we never knew. For example, I heard you say that you came here in 1959 and that Canara Bank gave you a loan or so of 5,000 rupees. I'm sure this was some 50 years ago. Not many people in Canara Bank itself may know that that was the bank that gave you the 5,000 rupees. I'm sure Canara Bank will be very happy to hear that, and we will make it a point to make sure that they will hear this straight from you. So that is the purpose why we are capturing such information from you, so that we can know and we can pass it on to our next generation. Very good. Go ahead. So you said that you came to Connecticut. So
Connecticut.
let's pick it up from there.
Okay. In Connecticut, I came there, it's cold this one, and one Shivalingappa. He had come a year earlier to same department and so forth. And he was making fun of me. Why did you come all the way from the dirty Kompe, that is Indian, this one. But we don't have anything with it. That went to the dorm. The room was there, but food was not there. So he used to prepare rice in a small, in the lab. The college is closed. You go to the lab and prepare rice. And with the rice, you put the chutney pudi and this one, and curds. And that is our meal for the whole day.
Okay. Now it's very interesting and very disturbing also to me when I read stories of people like yourself who came here in the early 50s and they could not go to the main street restaurants or anything like that and get any food. So I know that they struggle, but this is the first time I'm ever hearing from anybody saying that you cook rice in the laboratory. I'm sure if the school had found out that that's what we were doing in the lab, over the weekend the lab is not working, you just go there to cook Indian rice, I don't think they would allow you to continue your education. But anyway, and then you cook the rice and mix it with curds and some other items, and then that was your food.
No, we had a separate vessels for cooking.
Right.
And we used to use the Bunsen burner. And then it's all heating the burner.
Right.
And that is us. And then I want to make sure that everything is clean and wipe it up and so
Right.
forth.
I know that we use Bunsen burner for conducting experiments.
Yeah.
So now you are using Bunsen burner to cook rice. That itself is a very fascinating piece of information for all of us.
Yeah.
Okay, so you used to cook over the weekends at the laboratory, and of course you had to survive and to go to school and all that. Okay, all right. Then what happened? So you finished your studying in the university at the Connecticut.
Correct.
Okay.
There, it was an interesting period for me because I got a lot of things to learn.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. And so even starting from the wearing top coats in the cold weather.
Right.
The professors were very nice. Okay. This one, by name Scotland, was my advisor. Okay. And he used to tell me what to do and so forth. And then at the end of the 2 years, I finished my master's degree. Then I had no money to go back, so I had to work hard so working is difficult now to get a job. Of course, we didn't have any car or anything.
Right.
Then we left, I think of a doctoral degree.
Okay.
And I applied for 10 or 15 places. Finally, I got one in South. And they gave me assistantship and so forth. I don't remember the university's name. Either it is University of in Louisiana.
Okay.
And I was so happy, and I went to my advisor and told him, Dr. Scotland, I got this one. I want your certificate. He just looked at me and he said, no, I don't give you certificate. I was really upset. Then he asked me to come down, sit down here. You don't know the South. Those people, they don't know how to treat. Even me, going to the North, they don't treat well. Okay, so I don't want you to be subjected to that racial, this one. Therefore, don't, this one I will go to fix somewhere else. Then he got me a seat in Rourke University in New Jersey. And there I went to get my master's degree. I mean,
Okay, I think you did your PhD at the
Rutgers.
at New Jersey at Rutgers.
Rutgers.
At Rutgers. So if I understand clearly, you were about to take up admission in one of the southern states like Louisiana, and Dr. Scott told you, no, they are not going to treat you very well, so I'll get you admission somewhere in this area, so stay here. And you did stay and get your PhD at Rutgers University.
Yeah.
That's very good. Down this road, I'm going to ask you a question. You say that there will be racial issues and all that. I'm going to ask a few questions on that later. But now, so you got your PhD and then you got your doctoral. Okay, then at Rutgers University. What did you do after that?
After that, I was looking for a job to getting the PhD degree, and then I applied for other places. The Prairie View A&M University offered me a job. The salary was very low, but offered me a job anyway. I was happy to told my professor that my professor name is Dr. Umicus. He is from Germany.
He is from Germany.
Germany.
Okay.
He didn't like the black people, racial. Okay. He actually Estonia.
Okay.
And he said, hey, Mr. Rao, that person, that dean of that college, he asked me, what is his attitude towards the other people? I was a little bit dismayed. You see, he's an academic person and he's applying for a job as an instructor, and you must ask, the question you must ask, I expected is, how is his training and all that. So that he's asking, because he didn't know it's a predominantly black school. These people, I'm the first person, non-black, to be hired there. So these people are not sure of that one. So that's why they were asking, but it seems he replied, he's a very mature person, don't worry.
Okay, looks like you had very nice professors that helped you get your admission to the right university, and then they were also helping you to make sure that you don't go somewhere where you may not be liked or you may not be accepted very willingly. So I think you are very, very thankful to those professors and their advisors, right? Okay, good. So now I know your background as well as when you came here and you got your master's and you got a PhD. Now you got a job in Prairie View. So at that time, did you know anything about Texas at all, or it was just a job somewhere in the United States? How did you feel about it?
I didn't know where Prairie View was.
So you did not even know where Prairie View was?
Okay, I called them and they gave direction. I came to Houston and stayed in a hotel and I rented a car, and then they gave me the directions. I went there and they treated me very nicely.
Okay.
The dean came and carried my luggage and so forth, and took me down to the campus, introduced me to the president of the university and everybody, and so forth. And then they offered me a job. Salary was low, but I didn't know what the salary was.
Right.
So he asked me, "You're going to give you a job. The salary, do you accept?" I didn't know what salary to accept. I kept quiet. No. He was related. No, we are going to make you an associate professor, not assistant professor. The salary was also a little bit raised. Then I was a little bit hesitant. How quickly can I get a promotion from this one? And okay, and what about the program and all these things? He had to the head of the department and so forth. No, we'll make you the head of the department.
Okay, so you came looking for a job, they offered you a job, and then they raised you to associate professor,
And then
immediately became a dean, You are very fortunate, Dr. Rao wants you, that they gave you a wonderful opportunity to start your career with. And although you thought that the salary was low, it was probably not that low, but because you didn't know how much to expect.
Yeah.
You didn't know whether you were paid too much or too little, you didn't know. So
We
you
wanted-
just accepted what was offered to you,
Yeah.
right? That was very, very nice of you. And I know that you served at the Texas A&M Prairie View for many, many, many years to follow.
26 years.
26 years you worked there, and I think you still live in that area, in the Prairie View area. Now, I want to switch gears a little bit and then ask you, you had the job at Prairie View and you came through Houston, but did you ever think of moving back to Houston at all, or Prairie View kept you interested?
No, the Prairie View, I'm thankful to the people, starting from the president. President used to come to our house for coffee. Okay. And I never expected, I'm just an ordinary this one. The president comes to my house, the head of the departments comes to my house, and the other departments, and dean comes to my house and so forth. So it's all a little bit too much for me. It's okay. Coming from India where this hierarchy is so tight and so forth. And I just told him, once I went and asked the dean, Mr. Wilson, I want to ask you why you are not getting the honor societies. I don't know. So I must ask for it. Can I ask for it? Go ahead and do it. Okay. I just went and found out researched the honor society, engineering honor societies, and asked them, we can't get the honor society unless the courses, programs are accredited.
Right.
Okay. And so then I went to the dean, Mr. Wilson, it seems like it is not accredited. Why? It's accredited. If you want to work on it. He gave me full liberty, this one. Okay. Then I wrote to the accreditation board and get what are the requirements to get the accreditation, and all the requirements, how many library books should be there, what should be the staff, faculty members, what are the subjects they teach, and so forth. So the president was interested. It was the first time that I did accreditation. So whole university was at my beck and call. Library head of department, library came and Dr. Rao, whatever books you want, give me a list. We'll order it. Okay. They ordered it and got the books. Then told me, he asked me, come to the library. Okay, these are all the books you wanted. It is there. Then I was a little bit amazed at this swiftness of this one and the kindness of this one. And at the end of the 9 months now, they gave me full 1 year salary and another $5,000 increment. And, the people were very nice. Then they asked me, Mr. Wilson, I don't know the head of department, I should know the programs or something. I should have the freedom to go and inquire somewhere. Can I go inquire the universities? Sure. You want to go to any university to inquire on this one? Go ahead and do it. Okay. I'm not thinking of going anywhere further. So I went to the University of Houston, University of Texas A&M University, and UT Austin. All the three departments, heads of departments, I wrote letters and they asked me to come over there. And I went there and they asked me what the program was like and so forth. And then I came to the curriculum. These are the courses and these are the things to satisfy the habit accreditation. And they said, after that one, they applied after 1 year. Okay. I had to pay about $800 or so. The president said, okay, we'll pay. So they applied for both civil, electrical, and mechanical. But first time, only civil engineering, my department. So got the accreditation, others they didn't get it. Because there's no faculty members all of it. So the dean called me, Dr. Rao, just keep it quiet because other departments feel depressed and so forth. So it's very good. They will work it out. So for next 2 years, work to get the accreditation for other two departments.
That's very interesting, Rao, because I just want to share with you that I told you earlier that I know Dr. Rao for over 30 years, but till this minute I did not know all the details of his career as a dean at the Texas A&M University, and also how he was very responsible in getting the university accreditation, which is very, very important, as we all know today. And congratulations, Rao, you did some remarkable things for the university, and no doubt the university gave you 1 year's salary, although the term was 9 months, and also they gave you, you said, a lump sum $5,000 raise. That's fantastic. I hope such things continue to happen now, and you also mentioned that they treated you very well. Many times we hear from people saying, oh, they didn't treat us well, they did that, they did something that was not very pleasing to them. But so far, you have not said anything like that. You have been very appreciative, very complimentary of what others did for you. That shows you're an absolutely delightful, nice person. Now, I want to ask you one quick question concerning your university experience, and what was the subject in which you specialized and that you were teaching at the Texas A&M?
Okay. My specialization back in India is water resources.
Water resources.
So dams and irrigation.
Irrigation. Okay.
Okay. When I came to Roorkee University, that was a water resources development. That is the Master of Engineering.
Okay.
And when I came here to Connecticut, my master's was in hydraulics.
Hydraulics. Okay. They're all related.
Related. Then when I came to the Connecticut, I mean New Jersey, Rutgers. Minus soil mechanics.
Soil mechanics, okay.
I got this one, Dr. Umekis was my professor.
Right.
With that one, Dr. Umekis is a very strict person. Once, for a graduate student, he says, I made a spelling mistake in the lab report. And that was where I was 6 students. He was so mad. He gave me a C for the program. Dr. Umekis, why you gave me a C? No, you have made that mistake. You are a PhD student, you are not supposed to make that mistake. Okay. It didn't affect me in any way. But my friends are all flabbergasted. Hey, you were the best student in the class. How you got a C in that one? But that one, that course, not in the course, that program, that lab report, he got a C, I got a C.
Now, you said that the dean, the professors, and all your colleagues used to come to your house. You say our house. When you said our, now who is the other person that you're referring to?
Okay, when I was in Rutgers University.
Rutgers University.
Ansuya joined from India.
Okay.
And so we together, Ansuya worked for her master's degree in Rutgers.
Did Ansuya come as a student, or were you married back in India?
I was married back in India.
When was that?
That was in 1958.
1958.
Okay. So in 59 I came here.
59 you came here. Oh, you were married when you came?
Okay.
Okay, but Ansuya joined you later?
Later.
Okay.
So she had a bachelor's degree working as a teacher, a high school teacher.
Right.
So she came here and she went for master's degree, master of, what is it called, master of education.
Okay.
She got that one and she finished that one. And from there, we came to the Prairie View. And Prairie View, I went to the college and Ansuya said, what should I do here? Why can't I go for a PhD? Sure. Okay. So she applied for the 3 closest universities, and she got admission in the Texas A&M and also in University of Houston. The question is, University of Houston, to come from Prairie View is a long distance. You didn't have a car.
Right.
Okay. To go into college is much easier. It's 2-lane freeway. This one. So we picked up the college station.
Okay.
So she was the only girl at that time in the PhD program in the Texas A&M. Okay. So she said she was making fun of me. You people are working for the getting a job. I work just for the sake of education itself.
That's interesting. In fact, I know that I have met Dr. Ansuya as well, and she could not come here today because she was not doing well. But we'll definitely interview her some other time separately. Okay, now apart from the education, I want to touch the other areas of your life and activity, because I know that you have a very fulfilling life and a very enjoyable life. One of those things that come to my mind is first time I came to your house in 1978 when you were celebrating Vinayaka Chaturthi, and then the house was just full of people that I didn't know any one of them. So tell us a little bit about that festival and what created interest in you to do that, and tell us a little bit more about that.
When I came to Prairie View, the number of Indians, Kannadigas, when I come here, only 2 families I know. One is Srinath family in Dallas, and the one is Ramakrishna family in Austin. So every weekend we used to go there, or they used to come here. Then we made it a point, every Indian or Kannadiga comes here, must meet. Okay. The best way to do is we do the Vinayaka Chaturthi in India too. We'll call it one way of inviting the people there. So anybody who comes to Houston area, Kannadigas, he must come to our house. No invitation is necessary. So if you know somebody, you bring them to the house, and we have the function for this one. So that's how the Kannada group developed. First 10 or 12 families, that is after you came in, we were still together, and discussions going on whether we should be a farmer association or not. And finally we decided to form an association. And you happened to be the cable secretary at that time. And, so it worked out.
I want to add a little bit more about the annual Ganesha festival that you used to do in your house. And I was brought there by one of my friends. So that's how I started coming to your house. That was in 1978. And for years to follow, every year I'll see some new faces, new people. And I know at one time there were almost like 200-300 people. So the number of people speaking Kannada that you knew or they knew you was kept on increasing. And your house, we could just come there for the festival and spend all day there. We used to do that. That was a very interesting event, and we used to take Lord Ganesha in procession through the through the Prairie View and take him to a tank, and where we will immerse him in the tank. That was a very interesting thing. Then your association with the Kannadigas itself increased, and you started interacting with them. And as I understand, as I know very well, you were the very first president of Houston Kannada Vranda. Tell us a little bit about that, because I may have missed something to notice. So tell me from your perspective, what do you think about the organizations, a Kannada organization being started in the early 80s? That was almost 25 years ago.
No, it was good. As many people would say, it was a very small group. Okay. And we said, I don't know anything about organization, professional societies and so forth. I had a cable vice president, Nalini Jairam, very cable secretary, Kumar.
Yeah, showing hand at me, so that must be me then. Okay. Yes, I was the secretary, yes.
Okay. So with their help, we worked together. Okay. I did little work, and bulk of the work is done by the secretary Kumar. And then the other activities developed. One thing, Meenakshi Temple.
Yes. Tell us about your involvement with the Meenakshi Temple, because I know that you were very actively involved with the temple right from the inception.
Okay.
So tell us a little bit more about
Meenakshi Temple, some few people, some 6 or 7 people. So we used to meet once a week or once in 15 days in somebody's house to do puja. I joined with them. And I also joined with the Hindu Worship Society, Sidhwani,
Yes.
and others.
Yes.
So I worked with them on that one. And when we were working with Sidhwani, his wife Mohini was working with the Ramakrishna Mission.
Yes.
And I was associated with Ramakrishna Mission when very young. And I found out that Sidhwani, his wife is working that one. She has taken a room or something in what is it? It's a Jewish community center.
Okay. Oh,
Jewish community center.
Okay.
Jewish community center. So she gave me the dresses. I just got associated with that one. And I was a president for a year or so. And then I said, left it out. Then I was associated with the Theosophical Society. And because I was associated, I got associated with the
Chinmaya Mission.
Chinmaya Mission.
Chinmaya Mission.
With associated with the, what is it called, the, when I get back,
Right. Now I know you have volunteered your time and associated yourself with the Vedanta Society, the Chinmaya Mission, the Houston Kannada Vrinda, Theosophical Society, and many other organizations. Given the fact, what's that?
Co-Masonic Order.
Masonic, okay. And then, given that you didn't even live in Houston, living in Prairie View is almost like 40-50 miles one way. And we admire your interest and your patience and your enthusiasm to come and volunteer and be a part of so many organizations. It's a good example for us and all the younger generation to emulate. Now, I want to ask you a couple more things before we wrap up. I know I have not seen you, at least here, get involved in politics or sports or music or things like that. Tell me a little bit more about your interest, or you are not having any interest in these areas. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Politics, I was interested in the local politics in the city. After city was, when I went to Prairie View, city was not there. City was forum. And really interested in my contribution to the working it out, everything. Okay. The other, this one I was not involved, except joining a Democratic Party and voting and other things. Other than that, I was not deeply interested in that one. In politics of Houston, city politics, and I was away from that one. Okay. Music, okay, I enjoy it, but I do not know much of music. I don't have the talent. Okay. But I know people who have the talent.
Now we know that although you yourself are not an artist, a musician or a painter or anything, you have supported and continue to support all the artists and all the art organizations in Houston. That itself is a great thing that we have to recognize in you, and you continue to do that, which we all know. Now, we know your extended family is all of Houston. Anybody that comes to Houston area, you come to know that they are here. Either you invite them or your wife Anasuya will invite them. We come and spend almost all day with you now. That's very generous of you. Now, just a while ago, you mentioned that you are a Democrat. Are you still a Democratic supporter, or have you changed your party?
No, usually principles of Democratic Party appeals to me more than the Republican Party. Why? Democratic Party is catered to the needs of the middle class and the lower middle class, whereas the Republican Party mainly looks at the top layer. That is my impression. I may be wrong. Okay, but to get the votes, they had to come down, he had to go up, and so forth. So I was not able to get involved in that. But otherwise, okay, apart from the party, this one association, affiliation, politics as such doesn't interest me much, because moving forward and forward, there is going to be tussle and things like that happens. I've seen that one happening even in the Telugu Association, this association, and so forth. I just kept away from that one. Otherwise, this one keeps me quite good enough. Okay. For example, Chennai machine, they would have asked me to continue there. Even Governor Boy wrote a letter to me and so on. But the main thing, my health went down, and the question of driving and other things came in the way. Meenakshi temple, I haven't gone for a long time now. Yes, I was the first, when I formed the first group, the Tyagarajan was the chairman of the Meenakshi temple, and the Kannappan was the secretary, and they asked me to become the treasurer, first secretary, this one, the Meenakshi Temple Society, and worked for that one for a while. It was a 4-year term. I told them it is too much for me, I can't work on this one. Then Ansuya became the secretary for another 4 years.
Yes, I know that. Now I am really very amazed the ease with which you pull these names. For example, you mentioned about Kannappa, Tyagarajan, and Chennai Mission, Gaurabai, and all those things. And I have to admit that probably I will not be able to remember any of these names a couple of years from now. We are amazed. We are very, very happy and thankful to you that you are able to spend some time with us this afternoon, telling us a little bit about your life. This is very important for us because down the road, people would like to know who was the first Indian that came to Prairie View, what did he accomplish, what was his contribution to the city, to the community, to the university. There will be no such documentation if we did not interview you today and requested you to share that knowledge with us. So we are extremely grateful to you for that. This is a program that is brought to you by the Foundation for India Studies, and the title of this program is Indo-American Oral History Project. And we are also thankful to Houston Community College and the Houston Public Library for their participation and involvement with us in bringing this program together. Now, Dr. Rao, I would like to request you to say a few things. If you didn't know something and you would like to share it with us, please do so. We'll be very, very happy to listen to you.
The question is, first of all, I want to know who I am and tell me the good part of it, better part of me is not entirely mine. It's a question of a contribution made by my friends and so forth. Okay. So many people contribute to it. It is nothing what is mine, there is nothing there. But still, people honor me, people respect me and so forth. But it's a God-given gift for me. After coming over here, before coming over here in India, we go to temple and coming, we don't know much about religion and so forth. I used to go to Ramakrishna Mission because it's very close to my house. But we are going, just coming. Well, coming here, we know the value of those associations. Okay, so immediately I came here. I came and asked where Ramakrishna Mission Center is. That's how I got Mohini Sidhwani and worked it out. And when the Ramakrishna MTS came in, then I told Tyagarajan, hey Tyagarajan, I'm not a very religious person. Why do you want to get involved? No, you don't know. I want you to be there as secretary. You want money. If the people say your name, the money comes a little more easily. That's how I got involved in the Theosophical Society. I went. I was involved in theology back in home also. Then when I went there, they got a co-Masonic order, so they drew me in there. We were there. There's a degree, so second degree, third degree, up to 32nd degree. I went up to myself and I'll say both of them went up to 30th degree. Then question is, once in a year, the meeting is held nationwide. You must go to that meeting. We were not able to go, so we just stopped there. Okay. And the contribution, who are the made me what I am. Okay. There are several people involved, not big people. One of them is a young boy, 8 years old boy. He came as I was working on one of the small houses in India. He used to come early in the morning. He never used to lock the door. Okay. He used to come inside, put the coffee pot, butter and so forth. They need to wake me up and so forth. I don't know who that boy is. Okay. I'm thankful to him. And there were some people who worked at the PWD officer, so many people working there under me. Some of them, most of them are illiterate. Illiterate, that is all. They are not, culturally they were very good. Okay. They used to come and ask me, for everything they used to ask me. Once one of them came to me, Swami Ray, we are going to conduct a puja in my house. I asked the Achar to do that. We want you to come.
Okay.
I said, okay. Nothing. I'm not a religious man. I'm not sure. No, I'm not. I don't know. Okay. So, okay, he was so happy that I'm going. He went and told the Achar, Raya Bhartiya there. So we'll go to do the puja. So next day I went to his hut. And the hut, he had made usually huts will have two platforms.
Yes.
That one he had put a mat and
special seating there.
And brought some fruits and milk for me. So that type of devotion, I can't get it. Okay. But that taught me something. It's not education, it's not your position, but the interest you show in little things. And there were many other people, like I told you about the professors. These professors, seem to have got more confidence in me than myself.
Right.
Okay. And my bosses in India, people always talk about bosses.
Yeah.
But my bosses were all very good and very kind to me. They just give me whatever I want. Okay. And they put more confidence in me in doing anything. I myself didn't have that confidence. And more than that, in India, many of them may not realize that they are grown up with some ideals in life without this one, to follow day to day, being truthful, being this one and so forth. That one has got an effect on me like anybody else. Okay. And when I came here, that one put me in a very good position. People began to like me because my behavior was much better than what they could find here. And in Connecticut, people used to invite me weekend. They want to have foreign students in their home. Okay. So when they go to their weekend, they used to have prepared some. The vegetarian food. For
Indian
me,
food.
Indian food. And most of them Christian. Okay. And they used to take me to the church and so forth, introduce to the congregation. And so all these things I never expected. Okay. That is in brief what I wanted to tell you.
Okay, I think what you just now done now is to show respect and homage, pay homage to those people who helped you, who are nice to you, and all along, including some of your friends and a young boy that you mentioned in India, 80-year-old boy used to come to your house and make coffee for you and all that, as well as your professors here, in your college courses and everywhere. It is only a reflection of what you are, what you give it to them, Dr. Rao. I think if your attitude or behavior was not acceptable, I don't think any of these things would have happened. So you are an absolutely exemplary person. Since I have known you for so long, I can definitely say that we are indeed very, very grateful to you that you have taken the time.
One point I want to make.
Yes, doctor, go ahead.
Regarding the discrimination in this country.
Oh, the reason I did not bring up that topic as a point of discussion with you, the discrimination, is because I do know, even if somebody had discriminated against you, you would not remember that, or you would not make it a big deal, or you would not keep it in your mind, you would not propagate it. That's your nature, I know. But if you want to share something,
no, the question is, it is a good thing, you know. My friends were saying, what's wrong? Why you have so much, you praise America like that? Okay. Nobody has insulted me. Nobody has this one. They went the extra length to make me happy, help me, and so forth. Nothing to complain.
Right.
Whereas others, you know, they say they don't give food, and one person rode in the bus from Minnesota to Tennessee. On the way, in the bus station, they couldn't offer him even a cup of water.
Mm-hmm.
That is the kind of things in 1959, 60, 61. By the time I came to Prairie View, 63 rule was passed. Therefore, people were afraid. So when I came here, I went to Belleville Hospital, a big sign. This is the only whites, only. So that she came running. Oh, Dr. Rao, this is not for you. They are not remove those signs and so forth. In medical center, there was a bathroom, whites only, so forth, was there in 1964.
64. But look at 64 and now look at 2006. Yeah. I think things have come around so much, and people have become more caring for each other. Although we still have incidents like the 9/11, the high school shootings, and these are very small number compared to the number of good things that you see happen to you and that you do to others. Is so much in such big numbers compared to the one or two stray incidents that happen here and there. Anyway, we do not have to deal with that kind of situation anymore, and we are very, very, very happy. And then we wish you a very successful life. And just before closing, I know you have retired and you are enjoying your retired life. Do you have any suggestion for me, because I'm also now retiring, I'm probably going to retire. Tell me, what should I do?
No, you are doing a great job. See, retirement, unless you have activities filled up in your life, the retirement becomes boring.
Right.
Okay. Because you must fill up with some activities. Okay. It may be a little bit hectic and so forth. I know how hectic your life is, but still, you don't have time to sit down
and do nothing.
No, it makes sick also. It does not happen. So we called Kumar, he doesn't reply and so forth. It's why he's busy. He has to be busy. That's the only way it keeps his health good.
Right.
Okay. So my uncle, he's 104 degrees.
104 years.
Years.
Uh.
He's still working. He goes to the, well, not actively for competition and other things, he goes there. And even though he was bent, this one, he just, of course, his sons and grandsons help him, but still he goes there and gives them this one. That keeps him healthy. Still he's okay. He visits people and so forth. So, no, keep healthy. My one question is, don't retire.
Dr. Rao, you are telling us not to retire, but keep an active life so you will stay young and you will stay healthy. And Dr. Rao, on behalf of the Foundation for India Studies, we wish you a very healthy and a very long life. And we are extremely pleased that we are able to meet you today and talk to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all people.
This program brought to you by Foundation of India Studies under its Indo-American Oral History project, which is also supported by the Houston Community College and the Houston Public Library. We will see you again at the next interview. Thank you, and you all be safe.